My name is Taylor Brennan. I'm 39. Last Tuesday at 6:14 a.m., I stood in the driveway of my dead mother's house, the house I grew up in, the house with the yellow shutters she painted herself, watching my stepmother Lisa load my furniture into a budget rental truck while my father held my arm to keep me from intervening. Dad, that's Mom's oak table, the one from her grandmother. My voice cracked. It's Lisa's table now, he said. His grip tightened. The bank owns this house, Taylor. Lisa bought it at foreclosure, fair and square. Foreclosure? Mom paid off this mortgage in 2009. I was there when she burned the papers in the fireplace. Lisa appeared in the doorway, holding Mom's jewelry box, the rosewood one with the dancing ballerina inside. She smiled at me. It wasn't warm. Your mother lived beyond her means, sweetheart. She took out a reverse mortgage in 2018. $340,000. Never told you because she was ashamed. The bank foreclosed 6 months after she died. I purchased it for $290,000, all legal. You're lying. The words came out flat, powerless. Am I? She tilted her head. Where were you when your mother was drowning in debt? Oh, that's right, shelving books for $32,000 a year, playing librarian, some daughter. My father's fingers dug into my bicep. Lisa's been very generous, trying to keep this in the family. Don't make this ugly. Richard, my half-brother, Lisa's son from her first marriage, walked past carrying a box labeled kitchen. He wouldn't look at me. He was 26. He'd lived in this house for exactly 4 years, since Lisa married my father. I'd lived here for 22 years before college. Dad, please, just look at the documents. Let me see the reverse mortgage papers. Lisa laughed. It sounded like ice cracking. Darling, you're not entitled to private financial documents. The bank has copies. My lawyer has copies. That's all that matters. She descended the porch steps, jewelry box tucked under one arm. You should go now, before the locks get changed at 9 a.m. Wouldn't want you arrested for trespassing. Before I go on, if stories about standing up for yourself mean something to you, please hit like and subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now and what time is it there. I didn't leave. I walked past my father. He let me go, finally, and went inside. The living room was already empty. Pale rectangles on the walls where Mom's paintings had hung. I climbed the stairs to my old bedroom. They'd taken my bed, my bookshelf, even the curtains. But in the closet, pushed all the way back, was a cardboard box I'd forgotten about. I pulled it out. On top, a stack of birthday cards from Conversations Anderson. Conversations, that's what everyone called her, never just Connie. She'd been Mom's best friend since college, my unofficial godmother. She died 8 months ago, 3 months after Mom. I'd been so buried in grief I'd missed her funeral, sent flowers, felt like garbage about it. I opened the top card. My 16th birthday. Sweet Taylor, you are made of stronger things than you know. Your mother sees it. I see it. One day, you'll see it too. Keep asking questions, little star. Love, conversations. Little star. She'd called me that since I was 6, because I'd asked her why stars twinkled. She'd explained atmospheric refraction for 20 minutes while my mom laughed and made lemonade. The memory hit me so hard I had to sit on the floor. Let me take you back 33 years, to the summer I was 6. Conversations Anderson lived in a Victorian house on Maple Street with a wraparound porch and a garden that smelled like lavender and tomatoes. She recorded everything. For memories, she'd say, holding up her camcorder, one of those big ones from the 90s that sat on your shoulder. Later, it was a digital camera, then her phone. Conversations, not now, Mom would laugh, swatting the camera away. 20 years from now, you'll thank me, Conversations would say, when Taylor's grown and you want to remember what her voice sounded like at 6. That summer, Mom and Conversations and I made strawberry jam. Conversations filmed the whole thing, me standing on a stool, stirring the pot, Mom with flour on her nose, Conversations narrating, and the little star stirs carefully, so carefully, because the mixture is very hot. Why do you film everything? I asked. Conversations lowered the camera. She looked at me seriously. Because people forget, sweetheart. They forget what was said, what was promised, what was true. But cameras don't forget. That's morbid, Connie, Mom said, laughing. That's practical, Rose, Conversations shot back. Years later, I was 15. Conversations filmed my mom's 50th birthday party. My dad was there. He'd been divorced from Mom for 3 years by then, but they were civil. He brought his new girlfriend, Lisa. Lisa wore red. She laughed loudly. She touched my father's arm constantly, marking territory. In the video, I found it years later after Conversations died, you can hear her whisper to my father, "When are you going to tell Taylor about the house?" My father murmured something. "Robert, that house is Rose's. It'll be Taylor's someday. You signed the quitclaim in the divorce." "I know what I signed," my father said, irritated. The camera kept rolling. Conversations filmed the cake, the candles, Mom blowing them out, me beside her, both of us wishing. Sitting on the closet floor of my ransacked childhood bedroom, I didn't know about that video yet. I just knew Conversations had loved us, had protected us in ways I didn't understand. I gathered the birthday cards and went downstairs. Lisa was directing two men hauling Mom's couch. "I'm taking these," I said, holding up the box. She glanced at it. "Cards? Fine. Trash anyway." I walked out. My father was sitting in his Tesla, windows up, eyes closed. He didn't watch me leave. 3 days later, I got the first phone call. I was at work, Riverside Middle School Library, where I'd been the media specialist for 6 years. I was helping a 7th grader named Marcus find primary sources for his history project when my phone buzzed. "Dad." I let it go to voicemail. 30 seconds later, "Lisa." I excused myself, stepped into my office, barely bigger than a closet, crammed with outdated encyclopedias and a desk I'd bought myself. The voicemail from Dad. "Taylor, we need to talk about your behavior Tuesday morning. Lisa's very upset. She's been nothing but kind to you, and you've repaid her with hostility. Call me back." Lisa's voicemail. "Taylor, this is Lisa. I'm sorry you're struggling with your mother's choices, but harassing me won't change the facts. The house is mine, legally. If you continue to show up unannounced, I'll have no choice but to pursue a restraining order. I hope we can move past this." I sat at my desk for 11 minutes. I know because the bell rang for third period. That afternoon, my father showed up at the school. I was reshelving returns when Principal Dennings appeared. "Taylor, your father's here. He says it's urgent." My stomach dropped. Dad never came to my work. He was waiting in the main office wearing his golf polo and Rolex. He managed a car dealership, 3 of them actually. He'd done well after the divorce. Lisa had done even better. She owned a medical billing company. "Dad, I'm working." "This will only take a minute." He gestured to the hallway. I followed him outside, into the parking lot. He turned to me, and his face was hard. "You need to drop this house thing." "Drop it?" "Dad, that house belonged to your mother, who took out a reverse mortgage because she was drowning in medical bills from the cancer treatments. $340,000. She spent it. It's gone. The bank foreclosed. Lisa bought it. End of story." "Show me the documents." "I don't have to show you anything. You're not entitled." "I'm entitled to the truth!" My voice carried. A teacher walking to her car glanced over. I lowered my volume. "Mom told me she paid off that house. She had the deed. I saw it." "You saw a piece of paper. You were what, 18? You didn't understand what you were looking at." "I understood a deed, Dad." He stepped closer. His voice went quiet, dangerous. "Your mother was sick. She made bad choices. Lisa is helping clean up the mess. You should be grateful someone in this family has money, because God knows you don't." The words hit like a slap. "If you keep pushing this," he continued, "you're going to embarrass yourself. Lisa has lawyers, real ones. You have what? A librarian's salary and a grudge?" He walked back to his Tesla. I stood in the parking lot until the sun started setting. That night, I couldn't sleep. I pulled out Mom's old files, the ones I'd grabbed from her house before she died, medical records, insurance papers, bank statements from 2008, 2009, 2010. No reverse mortgage. I found the deed, recorded in 1987, paid in full, 2009. My mother's signature. No lien. I took photos of everything with my phone. Friday morning, I called the county recorder's office. I'm trying to verify a reverse mortgage on a property, I said. 432 Elmwood Drive. The clerk put me on hold, came back. I'm showing a deed transfer from Rose Brennan to First National Reverse Mortgage LLC in May 2018, then a foreclosure sale to Lisa Miller Brennan in January of this year. That's all I have. Can you send me copies of those documents? Sure, $15 processing fee. They'll be mailed in 5 to 7 business days. I paid with my credit card. My hands were shaking so badly I mistyped the number twice. The documents arrived the following Thursday. I opened the envelope at my kitchen table. My apartment, a one-bedroom in a complex near the highway, $1,340 a month. I'd lived there for 9 years. I made $54,000 a year. I had $3,200 in my checking account. The reverse mortgage papers looked official, watermarked, notarized, my mother's signature at the bottom. Except, I pulled out my phone, compared it to the deed I'd photographed. The signatures didn't match. Not even close. The R in Rose was different. The loop of the E, the slant. Someone had forged my mother's signature. I sat there for 20 minutes, just staring. Then I called a lawyer. His name was Jerome Whitfield. I found him on Google. Real estate fraud attorney. His consultation fee was $350. I didn't have $350 to spare, but I booked it anyway. His office was downtown, in a building with marble floors and a receptionist who looked at my Target flats like they'd offended her. Jerome Whitfield was 60-ish, gray beard, kind eyes. He listened while I explained everything, showed him the documents. He studied them for a long time. "This is a forged signature," he said finally. "I know. Do you have a handwriting expert who can testify to that?" "No, I don't have money for an expert." He leaned back. "Ms. Brennan, I'll be honest. Challenging a foreclosure after the sale is extremely difficult. You'd need to prove fraud. You'd need to sue the bank, the mortgage company, and your stepmother. That's $50,000 minimum in legal fees. And you'd probably lose." My throat tightened. "So I do nothing?" "I didn't say that." He slid a business card across the desk. "This is a friend of mine. She does pro bono work for fraud victims. No promises, but talk to her." I took the card. Rebecca Ortiz, attorney at law. I called her that afternoon, left a voicemail. She called back 3 days later. We scheduled a meeting for the following Tuesday. That weekend, Lisa made her move. Saturday morning, I got a call from my aunt, my father's sister, Patricia. We'd always been close. She'd babysat me as a kid. "Taylor, honey, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest." My stomach tightened. "Okay." "Did you steal money from your mother before she died?" The world tilted. "What?" "Lisa says your mother told her you forged checks, took about $8,000 from her account to pay off credit card debt. She says your mom was too heartbroken to press charges." "Aunt Patricia, that's insane. I didn't think so. But Lisa was very specific. She says she has bank statements." "Then she forged those too." Silence. "Taylor, you don't believe me. I didn't say that. You didn't have to." I hung up. I pulled up my own bank records. Every paycheck deposited. Every bill paid. I'd never taken a cent from my mother. When she was sick, I'd paid for her groceries half the time. But Lisa had planted the seed. Over the next 2 weeks, the story spread. My cousin Emily stopped returning my texts. My Uncle Greg unfriended me on Facebook. At Sunday dinner, which I skipped, but heard about later, Lisa told everyone I'd been difficult since Mom died. That grief had made me irrational and accusatory. No one called to ask my side, except Richard. He texted me at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. "We need to talk. Not about the house. About Mom. Can we meet?" I stared at the message for 5 minutes before responding. "When?" "Tomorrow, 7 a.m. coffee on Ashland Street. Come alone." I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I arrived at the cafe at 6:50 a.m. Richard was already there, sitting in the back corner, baseball cap pulled low. I sat down. "What's this about?" He didn't look at me. "I need you to stop." "Stop what?" "Investigating. Asking questions. Challenging the sale." "Richard, she forged—" "I know." His voice was barely a whisper. I froze. "You know?" "I know my mother's handwriting. I've seen your mom's signature. They're not the same." He finally looked up. His eyes were red. "But if you keep pushing this, she'll destroy you. She's already destroying you. The family thinks you're unstable. They think you stole money. In 6 months, they won't even return your calls." "So I let her steal my mother's house?" "It's not your house anymore, Taylor. It's hers. The sale went through. It's done." "You don't care?" He stood up. "I care that my mother is dangerous when cornered, and you're cornering her." He left a 10 on the table. "I'm warning you as a friend. Walk away." He left. I sat there until my coffee went cold. That afternoon, I met Rebecca Ortiz. She was younger than I expected. Early 40s, sharp suit, sharper eyes. Her office was smaller than Jerome's but warmer. Photos of her kids on the desk. I told her everything, showed her the documents. She examined them carefully. "This is fraud, clear fraud, but your stepmother's smart. She ran this through legitimate channels. The foreclosure happened, title transferred. Legally, she owns the house now. So there's nothing I can do?" "I didn't say that." She leaned forward. "Here's what I need. Proof your mother didn't take out this mortgage. Medical records showing she was hospitalized or incapacitated when these papers were allegedly signed. Witnesses who can testify to her mental state. Anything that establishes she couldn't have or wouldn't have signed these. She died 2 years ago. Most of her friends are dead or moved away." "What about family?" I laughed bitterly. "They think I'm a thief." Rebecca studied me. "Do you have anyone in your corner?" I thought of conversations. Dead 8 months. I thought of the box of birthday cards in my closet. "Maybe," I said. I went home and opened every card. Read every message. Conversations had written me 33 cards over the years. Every single one ended the same way. "Keep asking questions, little star." The last card, my 39th birthday, 6 months before she died, had a postscript. "P.S. If you're ever in trouble, really in trouble, remember, I've been recording for 40 years. Everything I know is safe. Mr. Patterson will know what to do." Mr. Patterson. Leonard Patterson. Conversations lawyer. I looked him up. Still practicing. Office on Riverside Avenue. I called Friday morning. His secretary said he could see me Monday at 4 p.m. Monday couldn't come fast enough. But Sunday, Lisa made sure I knew she was watching. I was at the grocery store, Safeway on Hamilton Street, when I saw her. She was in the produce section with my father and Richard, picking out avocados like a normal family. I grabbed my cart, tried to leave. "Taylor!" Lisa's voice carried across the store. Heads turned. I stopped, turned around. She walked over, smiling. My father and Richard stayed back. "How are you, sweetheart? We've been worried." "I'm fine." "You look tired. Are you sleeping?" "I'm fine," I repeated. She lowered her voice, leaned in close. "I heard you've been talking to lawyers. That's such a waste of money, Taylor. Money you don't have." Her smile never wavered. "I really hope you're not going to make this ugly. Your father's been so stressed. His blood pressure's up. I'd hate for something to happen to him because you can't let go." My hands tightened on the cart handle. Is that a threat? It's concern. She touched my arm. I pulled back. Families should support each other, not tear each other apart. Don't you think? I didn't answer. I left my cart in the aisle and walked out. In the parking lot, I sat in my car and cried for the first time since Mom's funeral. Monday, 4 p.m., I walked into Leonard Patterson's office. He was 70 at least, white hair, suspenders, old school. His office smelled like leather and pipe tobacco. "Ms. Brennan," he said, standing to shake my hand. "Conversations spoke of you often." Just hearing her name made my chest tight. "She left me a message, in a birthday card. She said you'd know what to do if I was in trouble." He nodded slowly, sat down. "She told me you might come. She hoped you wouldn't have to." "What do you mean?" He opened his desk drawer, pulled out a sealed manila envelope. Thick, my name written on the front in Conversation's handwriting. "She left this with me 2 weeks before she died. Instructions were clear. If you came asking, I was to give it to you. If you never came, I was to destroy it after 5 years." He handed it to me. My hands shook. "What is it?" "I don't know. She didn't tell me, but she said it would be enough." I stared at the envelope. Didn't open it. Not yet. "There's more," Mr. Patterson said. He pulled out a business card. "This woman called me 3 days ago, said she's representing you in a fraud case against your stepmother, Rebecca Ortiz?" "Yes." "Conversation set up a legal fund. $25,000. It's yours. For attorney fees, expert witnesses, whatever you need." I couldn't breathe. "She knew?" "She knew your stepmother. She'd known her for 4 years since she married your father. Conversations didn't trust her. Didn't like how she talked about your mother. Didn't like how she looked at your father's money." He paused. "Conversations started recording every family gathering after that. Every holiday, every birthday, every casual visit. For memories, she'd say. She was gathering evidence. She was protecting you." I looked down at the envelope in my hands. "Open it when you're ready," Mr. Patterson said gently. "And when you do, call Rebecca. She'll know what to do with it." I drove to the library, my library, the one where I worked. It was 5:30 p.m., closed. I had keys. I let myself in, went to my office, locked the door. I sat at my desk and opened the envelope. Inside, a letter and a USB drive. The letter was in Conversation's handwriting, dated 3 months before she died. I read it. "Dear little star, if you're reading this, then I'm gone, and Lisa is doing exactly what I knew she would do. I'm sorry I couldn't stop this while I was alive. I tried, Taylor. I talked to your father. I talked to your mother. But Lisa doesn't hear reason. She only hears documents. Do you remember when you were 6 and we made strawberry jam and you asked me why I filmed everything? I told you cameras don't forget. I meant it. For 4 years I recorded every family gathering, every Christmas, every Easter, every birthday, every casual Sunday dinner. I recorded Lisa talking about your mother's house. I recorded her telling your father how valuable it was. I recorded her pressuring your mother to put her on the deed, just in case. I recorded your mother refusing. I recorded the Thanksgiving dinner where Lisa told Richard, and I quote, "That house will be ours eventually. Rose is sick. She won't last another year. And Robert's too sentimental to fight his own daughter, so we'll have to be creative." I recorded her researching reverse mortgage fraud. She Googled it at my house, didn't know I had security software that logs searches. I saved the screenshots. I recorded the conversation where she told your father she'd handled the house situation, and he said, "I don't want to know how." Everything is on this USB drive. 40 hours of footage, audio transcripts, time-stamped. I've labeled the important files. The original reverse mortgage documents, the forged ones, were notarized by a woman named Sandra Kimball. I tracked her down. She's a notary at Lisa's medical billing company. I have her employment records. She was working the day those papers were allegedly signed. but the notary log shows she was in Chicago at a conference. I have her plane tickets. Your mother never signed those papers, Taylor. She never took out a reverse mortgage. She died with that house paid off, just like she told you. The USB also contains your mother's original will, the real one. She left the house to you. Lisa had your father pressure her to change it, but your mother refused. The will is with Rebecca Ortiz now. I sent her a copy before I died. I couldn't protect you while I was alive without destroying my friendship with your father, without causing a rift that would have hurt your mother in her final months. So I did the only thing I could do. I documented everything. You are not a thief. You are not irrational. You are not difficult. You are your mother's daughter. You are made of questions and answers and truth. Show this to Rebecca. She'll know what to do. All my love. Conversations PS. The legal fund should cover most of the costs, but if you need more, there's an account at First Federal Bank under your name. $50,000. I've been saving for 15 years. It's yours. For your future, for your fight, for your freedom. I read the letter 3 times. Then I opened my laptop, plugged in the USB drive, and watched. Conversations had organized everything. Folders labeled by year, by event, by person. I clicked on Lisa, damning evidence. The first video was from Christmas 2019. Lisa and Richard in Conversation's kitchen, Lisa holding a glass of wine. How's the house situation? Richard asked. Patience, Lisa said, smiling. Rose is deteriorating. 6 months, maybe less. Once she's gone, we move. What about Taylor? What about her? She's a librarian. She makes nothing. She can't fight us. I watched 15 more videos. Lisa discussing the house. Lisa researching foreclosure fraud. Lisa coaching Richard. If Taylor asks, you know nothing. I watched the video from Mom's last birthday. Lisa whispering to my father. I've found a notary who'll backdate the papers. She owes me a favor. My father. I don't want to know the details. Lisa. You don't need to, just trust me. I sat in that dark library office until 11 p.m., watching my stepmother plot to steal my inheritance. When I finally left, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. Something had hardened inside me, something cold and clear. The next morning, I called Rebecca Ortiz. I have evidence, I said. We met that afternoon. I brought the USB drive, the letter, everything. Rebecca watched 3 videos, read the letter twice, then she looked at me. This is airtight. We can not only void the foreclosure, we can press criminal charges. Fraud, forgery, conspiracy. How long will it take? Months? Maybe a year. They'll fight. Lisa has money. So do I now. I told her about the legal fund, the bank account. Rebecca smiled. Then let's fight. Over the next 8 weeks, Rebecca filed motions, subpoenaed documents, deposed the notary, Sandra Kimball, who broke down in 20 minutes and admitted Lisa had paid her $5,000 to backdate the paperwork. Lisa hired a lawyer, a big one. He tried to block the evidence, claimed the videos were inadmissible. Judge Martinez disagreed. She allowed everything. Lisa tried to settle, offered me $100,000 to walk away. I said no. She increased it to $200,000. I said no. She called me, screaming, "You're destroying this family. You destroyed it when you forged my mother's signature." She hung up. My father called next. "Taylor, please. Lisa made mistakes, but she's trying to make it right. She's trying to buy my silence. She's trying to avoid a public scandal. Think about Richard. Think about me. I have been thinking about you, Dad, for 39 years. I'm done." He hung up. The trial date was set for November 15th, but the climax came earlier. October 23rd, Tuesday afternoon, 2:47 p.m. I was at the Walgreens pharmacy counter on Riverside Boulevard, picking up a prescription for migraine medication, something I'd been taking since the stress started. There were 8 people in line behind me. The pharmacist, Danny Chen, knew me. "I came in once a month," he smiled. "Hey, Taylor. Usual?" "Yeah." Thanks. He scanned my insurance, printed the label. Behind me, a voice. Well, look who it is. I turned. Lisa. She was 3 people back in line, holding a paper bag. My stomach dropped. Hi, Lisa. Picking up more pills? Her voice was loud, pointed. Seems like you're here a lot lately. Danny glanced at her, then at me. I kept my voice calm. Just my prescription. Right. Your prescription. She stepped forward, out of line. How many prescriptions are you on now, Taylor? 3? 4? The people in line were staring. Lisa, this isn't… Because I've been worried. She turned to the line, performing. My stepdaughter's been under a lot of stress lately, making accusations, saying terrible things about our family, and I can't help but wonder if she's… You know. She tapped her temple. Not thinking clearly. Danny's smile faded. Ma'am, I need you to step back. Lisa ignored him. She leaned on the counter, stage whispering to him. Between you and me, I think she's drug-seeking. Doctor shopping, maybe. You might want to check her records. The line went silent. My face burned. My hands shook. But I didn't yell. I didn't defend myself. I just looked at Danny and said quietly, Can I have my prescription, please? Danny's jaw tightened. He looked at Lisa. Ma'am, these are legitimate prescriptions for migraine management. Ms. Brennan has been my patient for 6 years. She picks up the same medication, same dosage, once a month. She is not drug-seeking. He handed me the bag. And I'm going to need you to leave now. Lisa's face went red. Excuse me? You're disrupting the line and making false accusations about another customer. Please leave. I'm a customer too. Not anymore. Please leave or I'll call security. Lisa stared at him, then at me. Her eyes were furious. She grabbed her bag and stormed out. The line stayed quiet. Then an older woman behind me touched my shoulder. Honey, are you okay? I nodded, paid, left. In my car, I sat for 10 minutes, hands gripping the wheel. That night, I called Rebecca. She's unraveling, I said. Good, Rebecca said. Let her. 3 weeks later, November 15th, we went to court. Except we didn't, because Lisa settled the day before. Rebecca called me at 7 a.m. She's dropping everything. The house reverts to your mother's estate. You inherit it. She pays your legal fees. She signs a statement admitting the reverse mortgage was fraudulent. Why? Because Judge Martinez made it clear she was going to allow the video evidence. And Lisa's lawyer told her she'd lose, badly, and face criminal charges. What about criminal charges? The DA's reviewing the case. Sandra Kimball's already pleading guilty to notary fraud. Lisa might face charges too. I sat on my bed, phone pressed to my ear, and felt nothing. Taylor, you still there? I won? You won. I didn't cry. I didn't celebrate. I just said, thank you. The paperwork took 2 more weeks. On December 1st, I got the keys to my mother's house. I walked through the empty rooms. Lisa had taken the furniture, but she'd been ordered to return anything that belonged to my mother originally. The oak table was back, the jewelry box, the paintings. I stood in the living room where Mom and I used to watch old movies, where conversations had filmed birthday parties and Thanksgivings. I thought about calling my father, decided against it. Richard texted me that night. Congratulations, I'm sorry. I didn't respond. 6 months later, I'm sitting in Mom's house, my house, writing this. I kept my job at the library. I like my job. Lisa was wrong about that, like she was wrong about everything else. I repainted the yellow shutters, planted tomatoes in the garden, like conversations used to. My father and I don't speak. He's still with Lisa. I heard they moved to Arizona. I don't know if that's true. I don't ask. Richard sends a text every few months. Thinking of you. I respond. Thanks. That's all. The house is quiet. I adopted a cat, named her Stella, Latin for star. Some nights I watch conversations videos, not the damning ones, the happy ones. Mom laughing, me blowing out candles, conversations narrating, and the little star makes a wish. I visited Conversation's grave last month, brought daisies, her favorite. Thank you, I said out loud, for remembering when everyone else forgot. The wind moved through the trees. It sounded like her laugh. If you're watching this, and you've ever been called crazy for telling the truth, type, "I told the truth," in the comments. Or if you've ever had to choose between family and your own dignity, type, "I chose me." Both are hard, both are brave. If this story meant something to you, check the description for more stories just like this one. Thank you for being here.